Hi, this is Jeff Gilbert. I just wanted to give a brief overview of the stored procedure for tour itinerary that I created for this milestone. The general purpose for this uh, stored procedure is to generate an itinerary that could be used either internally by the tour company to input tour ID and then generate um, however many tour itineraries they might want, either to hand out to customers when they're on a tour or to post for people to see what all is available in a tour. And these itineraries could also be used by a client to input a tour ID for a tour that they have already signed up for, if they wanted to bring one with them on the tour. And the itinerary itself consists of the tour ID and then a start date for the tour, and then each stop associated with that tour, and then within each stop it shows all of the available excursions, hotels, and restaurants, and where there are multiple of each of those, they're just listed in order. And I threw in a divider line because SQL Plus was kind of mashing everything together, and I'm going to demonstrate here in SQL Developer because it shows the indentation and spacing a little bit better. So this is the code for the procedure, and basically there's just a brief introduction and the name, and then these are all variables for storing all of the different restaurant, hotel, excursion, tour stop, those kinds of things, the actual tour stop, and then cursors for each of those to get the required data out and joins as necessary, and then some display, just output to the screen so that a client or the tour company is aware of what each portion is. And then kind of an important aspect of this whole procedure is if tour ID is put in that's incorrect, there will be a big notice on the screen, and there won't be anything else shown, as you'll see here in a minute. And that's kind of important because you can't view a tour that doesn't exist in the table or in the database. And then there's some nested loops for getting each of the excursions and hotel and restaurant stops within each stop, and then the outer loop gets all of the stops until there are no more stops, and then checks if there are no more of each of those, and if they're not, then it goes on to the next thing, and put in some code to say whether or not the like an excursion is optional. That might be something that a customer might want to know and have handy on their itinerary. And then just important information for the hotels: check-in, check-out date, hotel name. And then restaurant, I went ahead and had some if statements to, we just designated them as BLD for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the database for ease and space reasons. But I went ahead and put some if statements in to convert those into a statement that designated that it was breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because that's a little bit easier for humans to understand. And so that's pretty much it, and it ends, and then I will come over here and I have a test here that I've put in with tour 2001, which is a known tour ID in the database. And so I'm going to go ahead and just run that, and it says it was completed, and we'll look at the output. And like I said, I wanted to show it in here because the formatting, I think it looks a little bit better, and ideally it would be nice to have this kind of formatting. So as you can see, there is a tour itinerary for tour, and then it shows 2001. That was a selected tour we put in. Start date 28th of September 2012, and then you start with stop ID 1, And then the first excursion, no excursions, there's no hotels and no restaurants. So this stop actually doesn't have anything associated with it for that first stop. And then the second stop, and that was more for example purposes, just so you could see that in the table there. And then the second stop, we have excursions. Two of them there listed, and these are the dots that I had put in to separate for the Sequel Plus, which you can see in the test plan. Hotels with the names, check-in dates, no restaurants for that one, stop ID 3, and then final restaurants for that. And that is pretty much everything as far as the tour itinerary is concerned, and hopefully would be a pretty important piece of a tour company for both the tour company itself and the customers. Thank you.